What's going on, guys? It's Jason, the blogging rapper. I wanted to use this video to be a little bit more serious and not so quirky as the usual format for my videos on this channel. To pay homage and to pay special attention and honor to the fallen victims of the Paris attacks that happened over the weekend. Now, just to give you a background on where I was, I live in Texas, and I didn't hear about this until really around Friday night, Saturday morning, most Saturday morning, and most of the other details I didn't learn about till Saturday night. And then on Sunday morning, our pastor talked about it, and we had a special prayer time for the victims of the Paris attacks. And unless you live under a rock, you know what's been going on. And I just wanted to take this video to just show respect and tell the people of Paris, if any of my audience is from Paris, that me as an American, I want to say that we are behind you guys. We as Americans are behind Paris, the people of Paris, and our hearts are broken for what's going on. And I think I can speak for so many of us when I say that one lost life is enough. And I believe, unless my details are misinformed or incorrect, on Friday, I think the death toll was estimated about 60, and then on Saturday it kept climbing from 60 to 100 and 125, 150, and several kidnappings. And that's just an atrocity. And we kind of become what's the word? We kind of become, I don't want to say accustomed, but for lack of better terms, desensitized to this because so many attacks have been happening for the past decade consistently. We hear about attacks all the time on the news, happening over in the Middle East and even on our own U.S. soil. And obviously, we all still remember the 9/11 attacks. I was only 2 miles away from ground zero from the Twin Towers when they were struck. And I was there that day, and I still remember it very well. And France stood with us when that happened. They stood with us. They represented us. They, flashed the American flag over their monuments and all that. And, you know, we're doing that back for them to show them that we're behind them and that this is a horrible thing. Now, I just want to say that I'm not using this video to get into religion or to get into politics. If you want to know my personal beliefs or opinions on, what do I think of Islam? What do I think of this? Because most of you guys know that I'm a Christian. Well, if you really want to know what I feel about all this, I feel that, we all have free will and the right to live how we want to live. Now, as a Christian, what's considered a sin? Isn't it my duty as a Christian to tell people when you're living the wrong way, yada yada? Listen, that's not what this is about, okay? I have friends that are Muslim and they're wonderful people. And, do I talk to them about Christ? Yeah, of course. I mean, it's part of my core belief system. I'm going to tell everyone about Christ. I'm not, it's just who I am. I'm not going to say, hey, do you believe in Jesus? If you don't, you're going to die and go to hell. Da da da. That's not me. But you'll hear me, you'll spend 5 minutes with me, you'll know, hey, this dude's a Christian. He doesn't cuss, he doesn't do this or that. This dude's a Christian. So, I don't want to make this video about what my personal belief system is. Personally, I believe that anyone who takes a life is a murderer and should be held accountable for taking that life. And when that murderer, well, obviously this is a group that did this, when these murderers can, take the lives of many, the lives of tens of, hundreds, even, like I said, even one is despicable, is disgraceful. Taking one life is disgraceful. So to take over 100 is deplorable. I mean, it's if you could find the right word that could truly express how bad this is, um, you would understand. Well, we do understand. So why exactly am I putting this out there? I'm putting this out there just for my audience to understand, if they don't already, that we are coming to a time, guys, where we're living in a society of the PC, the politically correct. And I was born and raised in the 90s. I'm a 90s kid. I was born in 84, but I relished and lived in the 90s. That's all me. That was my generation right there. Um, and we didn't have all these restrictions. Like if you say something, you know, you get to keep your job. These days, if you offend one person, you're bullied out of your job. You're bullied out of this. You're bullied out of that, and it's disgusting. I mean, I think, yeah, people should be sensitive, but there's such a thing as going too far. And so, as a result of this PC nation that we're living in, this PC society, all these, we got to be sensitive to this, we got to be da 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 da, and walking on eggshells basically. As a result of all of this, and oddly enough, with the whole how connected we are due to the internet and social medias and all that, social networks and all that, we're actually become further detached. We've become not closer towards each other, but further divided. And so, getting to my point, to my audience, and to anyone that's watching this, if you're a subscriber or not, um, we need to get together and become united. We need to become united again. And we need to have tough skin and not be offended if somebody says something that just rubs you the wrong way. You know what? Brush it off. You're not, learn to get over things. Learn to, you know, deal with people and to work with people. You're not going to agree with everything that somebody says. You're not going to agree with everything that a person does or how they live. So get over it. There are so many bigger problems that we need to address. When we let ourselves be so desensitized and so sensitive, um, we don't ever come together for these big issues. Again, I'm not going to get into politics, but who's going to run this nation in 2016? Who's our president? We got pretty much, I want to say, practically celebrities that are leading the polls. Donald Trump. I never thought he would be, a candidate. Um, we've had Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor of California. I'm not saying that these things are wrong, but it's kind of like, these elections are becoming more like American Idol than they are, what they're supposed to be, which is taking a serious look at how our nation is being run and, seriously evaluating who is responsible enough. And yeah, everyone's going to have their faults. I mean, there's skeletons in the closet for every candidate. And you know why? Because we're human and we're imperfect. We all make mistakes. So it's kind of like, who's the lesser of all the evils here? Quote unquote. But anyway, I wanted to say all this to say that we need to come together again. We need to be united again. And we need to show, the people of Paris that this is going to be the last time this happens. Where and now all this news is coming about, with President Obama wanting to let all these refugees in, and the governors of each state is saying no, we're not going to accept them. And then I was checking my social media feed today, and there's articles from either side of the fence. Most of them obviously are saying no, don't let them in. Da da da. And then another article said something about, Steve Jobs came from a Syrian refugee. His biological father was a Syrian refugee. So, and I joked with my coworker. I said, well, we can't reject the future Steve Jobs, into America. He's like, yep, see? So, I mean, there's both sides of the fence here. And obviously that's just one article. That's not enough to say, yeah, let them all in. And I'm not making any opinion. All I'm saying is that we need to be united, and we need to make sure that an event like this does not happen. And how do you help to be able to do that? You do you start by uniting with people, by forming strong communities, by improving your communication, and make yourself aware of what's truly going on. And when you do, and when you are united, and remember, you're not going to have it all figured out. So as you unite with people, as you join in communities, you start to acquire different perspectives, different thoughts, and that helps to influence what you truly believe in. So let us unite. Let us be together. Let us be solid. Let us, for once and for all, show these monsters that they're not going to get away with this anymore, and that even in the evil that they're doing, good is coming out of it. Good as in we are becoming stronger together. We are becoming more united. One final thought, and I'll end off with this. Again, like I said, I was a child of the 90s. Back then, and this was like this with my school friends, but it was just common with us. If you were to attack one of us, you would have attacked all of us. Like all of us would just somehow get together, and we would be an unstoppable force. We would be strong and determined, and it's like, okay, you know, my mentality is this. The Syrian, the not Syrian, the the attackers, these terrorists, they attacked they attacked Paris. Well, my thought is like, you dare to do that? All right, fine. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's link arms. You ain't ever gonna do that again, and we're gonna make you pay for it. It's time that we be courageous. It's time that we unite, guys. Let us show the people of Paris, France, that this is never going to happen again, and that those innocent people who lost their lives, as unfortunate and as horrible as it was, it will not be in vain. I know this is just a lot of thoughts, and most of it wasn't really laid out correctly. It's kind of all over the place in this video, but I think it's good. Just so that you can get to know me a little bit more, uncut, um, and just my thoughts on all this. Please leave a comment. Let me know how this tragic event has affected you, and how did you hear about it. Drop a comment and let me know. And if you stand with me, if you believe that we should unite and not allow something like this to happen ever again, whether in Paris, France, or in the UK, or in the U.S. soil even, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and show you support that you will not let this happen again. So let's unite, guys. Alright, so it's Jason the Blogging Rapper. I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe if you have not already for future updates, and see you next time. Much love. God bless. Peace.